Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie, przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces. Witamy wszystkich na 387 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy niedzielę, 9 sierpnia 2020 roku, a tematem jest kontynuacja 339 warsztatu poszukiwaczy wiedzy. Jest to tłumaczenie od 2 godzin 26 minut 45 sekund do 3 godzin 27 minut 37 sekund. I kolejny fragment to jest od 3:37 26 sekund do 3:50 i trzeci fragment od 4 godzin 19 minut 8 sekund do 4 godzin 41 minut 20 sekund. Tak więc po warsztacie zapraszam do rozmów, zadawania pytań, na które postaramy się odpowiedzieć wspólnie, lub nawet jeśli ktoś zaczął swój system kubków, to też zapraszam do podzielenia się swoim zrozumieniem, jak można w łatwy sposób po prostu stworzyć to. Niektórym z nas to ułatwi, jeżeli będziemy się wymieniać informacjami. Tak więc zapraszam do obejrzenia.
multiplies the confusion, I guess. Joel, for example, says, we have at home 2 cups of man. Should we fit them into these 5 cups? In my opinion, I don't want to, because they are alive and functioning. What is the interaction in this configuration if we keep the cups of man while creating the 5 cups?
You're still producing another cycle of life. The bad thing about these pots is that they keep on going. You change house, you don't touch the pot for 10 months, still growing.
So would it be okay to create 2 or 3 of these structures of the 5 cups? Or does that indicate the schizophrenic tendency?
We leave it on people. Let them grow. We need to have a time that people start thinking. We've been spoon feeding too much. We spent food for millions of years. It's for humanity to make a stand. It's for humanity to structure itself into what it wants to do. Oh, you decide you like apple and the other one like lettuce root, and the other one likes a lotus root. Now this way we give you the freedom. Before you had a few animals. Now plant kingdom is rich. What you decide for the inertia will dictate what is available in the dimension of the physical matter, energy level.
Well, even John Bliven is saying, I am lost. Do we create 3 new cups and sit next to them, the 5 cups, and stand between? So I guess that's for us to
The thing is, no. The thing is, John, you still have 5 cups. Your inertia and the gravitational field of the earth doesn't change. Now you have the soul of the plants, which is fixed itself to the inertia. Then you have the soul of the plant in a physical dimension, because when you cut a tree, it still feels, it still shows the action. And then you got the physicality of the plant, which is goes up. What strength that shows is important. And would it become a tree? Would it become a shrub? Why the height does? Why do herbs have such a concentrated energy of one element that you can use it if you got a headache? You can use it for whatever else, which means the central plate is monoenergetic and it's connected closely to the inertia field in that position. Then you understand why some plants don't grow on alkaline and some plant grows on acidic, and all the games which is played. The inertia at that point dictates what to create in conjunction with the strength of the central gravitational magnetic field of the Earth. But you have to understand, when it comes to the inertia and all the gravitational magnetic fields, you always have to have a condition that the CO2 is a factor. So you can never let go of your zinc and your plates of copper. All of you always nano-coated the copper and you put it in the middle or opposite to. This time you have to nano-coat the zinc plate in the center. And in conjunction with ordinary copper, you create an umbrella of field. Now you spread it, because the stronger one is in the middle. Copper is the weaker one. In the structure of the man, we always put the plates and whatever on the side, because we hold on, we don't want to go, we don't want to create any more condition for the soul to run. With the plants, because now your factor is dictated by the inertial gravitational field, you can play that game. And your umbrella is much bigger than when it was the human. We will show you, we got machines, we can show you these things. What happened if you put the structure which you made last week near the structure you make this week? And then, what are you going to get next week? Or the week after? Now, you have the freedom. But remember the principle of one drop, one life? Do you need the stacker? Or can you create a one drop that you're connected to, that it can give you everything you need and you're fed, you're not hungry? As we say from now on in the teachings, in English we say we separate the chaff and the wood. You got to understand what is what, understand exactly how it performs, what it was supposed to do, and then you go to the next step of understanding what this thing is going to give me. And it'll be very, very hard for some of you. You're going to go, and all of you who have tested, you put the seed of this year down for next year, putting some gases around it. So in fact, now you see mankind can tune to a plant with all the energies he needs without actually committing any crime. And he can put himself on the path of where the energy is coming from, and it takes what it needs. Many plants have the amino acid, the strength of the meat or whatever. Then you understand, we are in a new ball game. We are in a new beginning. Now, you don't need to go and get the orange Now you create the essence of the orange from base anywhere in the universe. You can give it to a man on planet Zeus said this is what we call orange in taste, energy, and feature. All made by the emotion of the man and the confirmation of existence of the field. Yes, sorry. What's the next question?
Well, that seems to answer Doug's question that isn't this what Alex did with the orange? And it's a different process than is what you're saying.
It's a different process.
Sort of reverse almost.
It's a point of creation where that thing was created.
Right. Okay, there's some other questions. Let's see here.
You have Mark Corinne, his hand up and he's already there as he spoke.
Yeah, he asked his question, so his hand's down now. If there's any other attendees, they can put their virtual hands up and ask a question. Ram has an interesting comment about what about like eating fruits is not killing trees, so is that considered okay? I was thinking the fruit is almost like the tree offering its interaction of fields to us in a way.
Did you ask the tree, can I eat you?
What if it drops its apple on the ground and we pick it up? That would otherwise
Then we have to do what the other guy did, huh? Write everything about it when the apple had its feathers and said.
Well, from the tree's point of view, it's probably trying to spread its seeds through its fruit. You know, it has its use of dropping fruit, and the birds and animals will take the seeds and spread them around. So perhaps if, as humans, we use that fruit, we should be actually using the seeds and paying the tree back for its efforts.
I think if one can understand teaching of today up to now, past 1 hour or so, we don't need to get together for about 100 years. Any other point?
Okay, we've got Ed with the hand up here, and then Gatwa.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm having a hard time understanding this. It appears to me that we're making a second set of 5 cups, but the top 3 cups are of the structure of the plant, the gravitational and the inertia.
Yes. They are feeling, they know they want to grow.
Okay, so now I'm trying to understand how we receive the energies. I know we have to create that point of weakness to absorb the fields that we need. So do we take some of the ganses of this second structure
You
within
don't take any
ourselves?
more gases. You don't take any more gases. You take the fields.
So we
It's a big
position
difference.
ourselves.
Pardon, yes. More or less, you can create a positioning by understanding that the process of system will adjust itself.
Okay, thank you. I need
Thank
to
you.
grow a little bit.
Oh no, you just gotta understand that systems work in a different way. You have to be very much extend the knowledge, extend the understanding of the knowledge. It's time for us to move to new levels of understanding, much more open-minded. This has created a certain narrow-mindedness because we are used to everything we like to be there at a fingertip. This is part of the problem of humanity. Ready-made. Give me, give me, give me. Now we have to wish it. We have to ask for it. We have to make it part of our structure, which is continuously evolving to gain and to give. The problem now sits in fact with us, with our behavior. Don't take, ask for. And if you're given, that's a gift. We ask for, my soul on this planet is given to be looked after by the planet. And then you can live anywhere in the universe. And many, many times I keep on emphasizing on this because sooner or later you will find out that it doesn't work for you. And sooner or later you find out it works for you because you did it the right way. And everything else gets fixed. Doesn't matter if you need vitamin A or vitamin B or whatever. There is no field strength names in the universe. It's the need of the satisfaction of the soul. That's where the problem sits. My soul to be satisfied with what it needs by my physicality. Then you receive it. Be it the food, be it the lover, be it the love of the Creator. Mankind has to become, and mankind has to understand this Otherwise, you will run into problems as you've done for centuries, millions of years. Thou shalt not steal, but you can please me. Give me what I need. Provide me with the pleasures of the existence. It's not that hard. You steal it, you pay for it. You bring it, you enjoy its existence.
So it's seeming to me that I need to learn to feel, in a way, my position with some sense that is closer to my soul, not my five senses, but something I need to develop.
In a way, you have to understand your soul, your creation bit. We have to understand to become low enough, humble enough.
And is that understanding accompanied with some sensation in our physicality?
You see, we have to go through the transition. We taught you the cup of universe yesterday, or the earth, because it's connected to it last time. And we taught you the essence of creation of fields of the plants. That's the vertical people. And that's what it is, that's how it is. Now with this teaching, we brought you to the first level of humbleness. See where you can get filled, when you can be fed, where you can receive. This is the step that man used to take. Man did not eat meat first. We took the vegetable, we take the vegetarian. You can be in the process of the need and receive. You don't need to kill. You don't need to go through that process. The time of killing with this teaching today, if you understood, even though the earth interfered that it doesn't want to let you let go, I hope you understood most of it. It makes you independent of this planet. Governments can put these in every square. The government can put these on every corner that the man travels. The way you have the telephone towers government can feed you. Anywhere on this planet, you can put it on a satellite. Now you understand what it is. Now you can create it.
So our positioning is simply a state of bringing our minds in accordance with our soul.
What do you mean?
I'm just trying to understand our positioning better. You said it is understanding our humbleness and where we need to bring ourselves to receive.
You see, let me explain to you something very, very clear, and it will become more clear. I'm gonna do service of the problem with my PowerPoint. Mankind has a huge problem, and that is it has to go to a transition, not to be dependent on any physicality, and it goes according to the maturity and how we receive it, how we perceive it. And this is, in a way, for you a bit strange, because you remember the dome we saw in the island, Caribbean island, that the soul of was the giver. And the source of it is totality of the energy available. So, in fact, till we teach you the dome next time, then the preservation of energy will come into operation. Need very, very little to exist. Man loses very little, because it's like the womb of the mother, everything is health for you. You just tap into it. This teachings, this coming up teachings, it shows you gradually how to make a cluster for your soul. That you feed the soul, that the soul feeds the physicality. But you have to create a condition that the energies can be absorbed. You have to create a condition and a position that you can receive. The knowledge to come is beyond comprehension of man. But we share that in time man will understand. This is what I say, you can take the horse to the water, but you cannot make it to drink. We can bring the knowledge, but you don't have the background to it to understand it. So in too many ways, we build it up and we bring it in and teach you more. And in a way, if you look at it, between the two, if you understand between last week's teaching and this week's teaching, and the teaching to come, you hardly need to take any energy from the outside, because the soul actually already receives it. Now you cocoon it, you show it what that thing could be from the earth to take. Instead of eating it, you take the energy of it. So you can feed your soul with it, to elevate the soul to feel the physicality. In a way, you plug yourself into the vegetation energy magnetic field that continuously can give what you want to run your physical dimension. Does not matter if the apple tree is next door or in the next continent. You want an apple, you tap into the energy of what is available in the apple strength that you feel. You taste exactly the apple you want. Then it comes to understand. You have to be so humble. The energy within you has to be so low that it still converts into life, but is such a giver that it receives out of the love of the Creator. We have a lot to learn, and as I said, one of the knowledge seekers said, the knowledge is complete. There is no need for Mr. Keshe. We got all of it. Shows lack of understanding of the creation. We have not even taught you anything. And the arrogance becomes the cause of downfall. Be always humble, that the more you understand you have not even understood the totality. Then you're at a position, hunger enough to receive. As I said, I explained to the scientists in Iran National Defense University, then we can go with the speed of light.
Perhaps we can hear from Gatwa, Mr. Keshe.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Keshe. This is Gatwa.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Gatwa.
Thank you very much for your excellent teaching, unsurpassed, actually. So now I have two questions. The first question is that I am not sure that I understood how the soul of plant works. When we have the 5 cups for the soul of man, you first drew 3 and with questions, and then you kind of summarize that in 1 cup with 2 plates and 3 spirals.
You see, what we're trying to do is to let you start maturing. We stop the spoon feed. You become and just
Thank you. But could you please explain again the final cup with two plates and 3 spirals? And then the second question is that man sees himself as the domesticator. So we argue that we have domesticated animals, we have domesticated plants, and so forth and so forth. But at some level, for me, I think it's the reverse, that plants have domesticated us, or animals have domesticated us because we take care of them and feed them and therefore make them survive. Then in return, they give us fruits or milk or honey for that matter. So now when we stop eating, what's going to happen to their populations? For example, cattle, are they going to survive on their own? How about plants that we actually grow in order to eat their fruits or their grains?
hello? Can you
Hello?
hear me, Dr. Gatwa?
Yes, please.
Yeah. This, I always say, abuser always find an excuse for his abuse. Did they domesticated us, or we want to blame something else for? Or did we get domesticated because it suited us? There's a big difference. There is a massive difference in total understanding. Why do we change it to suit us? Why do we change it to suit us? What gives us the right to do this? Why do we make ourselves blind to it? And secondly, it's us who wants to leave, not the plant. We have to understand. We have to be in a position that we give to unconditionally at the level that the plants need. That if gives will be the strength we need. It's a lot. Our body does most of this automatically. Now we become aware of it. The reason is, if you become aware of it and you can control it, you can become man of space. Otherwise, you have a problem. Mankind will have a huge problem in the space. You run out of food, you run out of energy, you run out of everything you could imagine you have. Because you haven't learned to take your step and mature to the next position. You have to learn to be humble enough. I live that way. And one day mankind understands how I live. I never take, I always ask. And I emphasize on this more and more, because then you're given, I ask, can I have the pleasure of? And it's there if it's available to be given pleasure of. Doesn't matter if it's a water, doesn't matter if it's a person, doesn't matter if it's even mankind itself. Can I have the pleasure of being part of this humanity? At that strength, I yearn for past days I could be with the Keshe Foundation team in Iran, in the hospitals. They don't need to. They go in there, they get infected, they're still there and getting infected more. But they give so much that they want to be there to give, to be part of, that they can make it better. When I look at the knowledge seekers in Iran, in the hospitals, they put themselves at risk every day. They don't need to be there. They are there to serve humanity. Those souls will elevate beyond the imagination of mankind. And they are there that I take it, that the others don't. I have put my soul, my life online. You go to get fed by the plants. They go there to absorb and be part of that the others can survive. My life has no value if I can help the others. When you see the teams in hospitals, especially now the Keshe Foundation across the world, what do you think they do? They put themselves to be that humble plants that they absorb it, and at the same time they can help it. These are the souls which are matured. I always say, I rely on the greed of the man, and it's so good. If you've been around me, I always say, I give you so much rope, that if you stay on a straight line, you elevate. You start playing around, you hang yourself, because have you seen the monkey jumping up and down on the bungee round? It connects himself. We've seen that recently. We've seen that very recently. We gave to give, but in that position of freedom to give, they thought they had become above. And that point, they cut themselves. Because you got to stay humble to receive. Every Thursday I come here, every teaching I join in, I put myself lower than those who have no knowledge, as I can give. And when it comes, what I receive and what I share. You look for a plant to feed you, and look for the Creator to feed me. By humbleness, not arrogance of the knowledge which has been shared. We've seen very recently, those who became arrogant are not there to be. And how many people have come through the foundation in past 15 years? The minute they thought they have a position, they learned something, they claim to be everything. Where are they? When you claim the knowledge of Creator is complete, God cuts. As I said to Dr. Asadi last few days, I said, the knowledge which can be transferred to man is, if you understand every star you look at has a specific way which exists and has a specific way which creates life to exist in that environment. When we understand the knowledge of creation of every star in the universe and the others, we might claim we just start understanding. And when a little knowledge makes you so arrogant to say knowledge is complete, now I take over, you took over nothing except the arrogance and the downfall. It's the same. It's not teaching you to take from a plant. It teaches you the way of living. And this is what all this teaching is about. A way to learn, to give.
Mr. Keshe, I appreciate that very much, but I still have a question about during the transition. Let's say I accept all that and I want to practice it, taking from that cup.
You don't need a practice. This is the whole thing, Dr. Gatwa. You have to comprehend the essence. These are just schematic to show. This is the problem. Man is so physical that he wants to make it. This is, you were a member of the Universal Council till a few days ago. Instruction came that at the age of 60, the first cycle, as they call it by Chinese, has to be the point. Otherwise, people stay for 190 and 200 or whatever. Mankind might live 1,000 years. There is no cycle to come new. We said more than 20 cannot be, because it needs a cycle of understanding and then supporting. What we call, you become advisors, because that experience of soul comes in the teaching, not connecting with the soul of the others. Very soon, in a short time, you'll understand why these were there. And those who did not deliver have gone. Why? Arrogance of not receiving. When I hear they say, knowledge is complete, now we have everything, I said, that's the end. I knew the soul has to depart. Knowledge is never complete. Even the Creator accepts his knowledge is not complete because he's still learning. Why is he here? Because he saw the beauty of love on this planet, the beauty of the creation of what he never thought he could create, the beauty of a partner in soul and physicality. Couldn't he stay long? So, if the Creator himself accepts that there is no end to his knowledge, which even himself is learning from, how can one illiterate confirms that the knowledge is complete now? We can go for a takeover. Where are they? How many people we had like this? When you confirm, when you understand the knowledge I have is not even the beginning, you're ready to receive. And then it's the same. I don't have the orange, but I like to taste an orange. If you wish it as a soul, the orange trees on another planet, you will receive. To please you, to elevate your soul. That's why we say even a plant has a soul, even a stone has a soul. If your strength of your desire to be happy with an orange, there is a tree, there is a plant, has a soul. It connects to you. You got to realize mankind has got to go through this process of understanding humbleness. And then be able to live with it. As some of the Keshe understanding says, you are the most arrogant person you are. I said, yes, because my arrogance comes out of my humbleness. Because I'm so humble that you see it as arrogance, because I give unconditionally, it doesn't matter who it is, even to my enemies, even to those who betrayed me. It's for them to find balance in their life. Many of you for 7 years been heckling with me with all these things, with everything else which is happening around the foundation. Have we given up? We taught more. Have we stopped? We been spend more time teaching. There is a very big problem in the foundation that has to be understood. We have transferred the soul of elevation, of giving, to female. But those females who are here to serve, not those who are here to steal. And those who are here to steal in the name of giving will see their demise. Because they are taking what is not theirs. Mankind, in essence of the soul, is one. Because if you look at the bottom pot, it's the soul of the planet which feeds your soul on top. You are part of it, you are in it. And when you put a line in it, you cut it, nobody else does. You don't need to wait 14 days. You already cut it from the first day. How many planned coup d'etats we've seen on the foundation? How many planned elevation we've seen on the foundation? Which one of them are still here? The time of all the time for changing mankind has come. And before that day comes, all what I call those who have taken from the foundation deliberately, they will not be there to enjoy the time. Not in terms of physicality, but by the soul. I was part of the Keshe Foundation. I betrayed the foundation, and I'm just a standby, because I put myself above everybody else to be. This is one of the problems that you have to learn. You've seen a lot of people, we allow very few people to come near us. And when they come close, they see the humbleness, they think, oh, we can do this ourselves, the guy doesn't understand. But they don't understand our humbleness comes out of our strength. You go nowhere with it. The same is with the plant. The same is with the soul of the man. But when that happens, because the other souls are there, they bring you the gift. They bring you there that you don't suffer. That is what you need, we give from us. This education cycle, especially in the next few weeks, will bring many of you to understanding of the truth about yourself. I give freely, but are you there to receive it freely and give it freely? Not by words, but through the soul. This is why we say when I teach the universe, not just with the voice of the man. Because the essence of the soul is given. You have to understand these cups or whatever is not there to give you, oh, I took this, why is this brown? You missed the point. It's for you to understand the essence of creation, essence of life, and you stick to a cup. Is this the wire connected that way? I sit and I laugh. I said, my God, we're still trapped in the dimension of physicality before we understand the essence of it. It's very, very difficult, especially for teachers like me who have the patience to see the mankind making the same mistakes again and again and leaves a gap for the others to come to abuse them. We've seen the greatest abuse by closest people to the foundation, and they left very quickly in the past few weeks. The extent of the abuse is opening up left, right, and center. They were given freely with the love of the Creator, and they stole. They went to steal from the Creator, as the knowledge of the Creator is complete. And those who follow them will follow the same demise. You watch. Thieves go together, and the givers go together. You got to understand the whole essence of the teaching is a way of living in the universe. It's not a cups, two pink, two yellow, and two pen, two flat plates, and the rest of it. You play childish game, we teach you the childish way. You play the mature game in giving, you receive knowledge we can't even teach for 100 years this way. Stop looking at the cups. Go back to what I said for past months. Look at the fields. The field is not where the field goes. It's where I can give that the field goes to save someone, to elevate someone. The greed of man, me is too big in mankind. Look at the essence of the teachings in past few weeks, you elevate yourself to the others. Look at the cups and connections. You stay a man and you suffer the life of a man. We have one of our dearest knowledge seekers telling me, now I learn how to be detached like you. It took a long time for her to reach that point. A long time. But at that point, when you realize you mature to the soul of the Creator to understand it, for the knowledge to be received. Don't look at the cups. We show you a way how to tap into the energy of this planet, that through the strength of your soul, you can get that 20% and feed it when it's in the dimension of physical, nothing else. I call it remote control energy transfer, but apparently mankind wants to have all of it. Learn, and I go back on it to learn. Don't become arrogant. Just because we give you room to grow, we give you room to teach the others and not control and be the owner and claim it. And if you learn that, you go to the next step. And if you can step away from it, you have reached a point of maturity. Learn and live my life. You become that life. But ask what you need and you're given if it's sincere and you need it. I would love to have the pleasure of an orange. If I could receive it. Because you create that understanding and the strength of your need for the pleasures of other parts which are yours, you will receive it. You go and steal an orange from the tree, you break your leg, you pay back. Which one do you want? The harsh way with a broken leg, or go the other way? Don't take my teachings as the cups and the spring and the plate. Understand the essence, the feels of it. What does it do? What is there? When I explain to you this is the inertia, have you, any of you still say, why is he talking about it? Oh, we put this one there to get something and we can see something in our plate. You're just a bunch of teenagers who just learn what sex is and get there as fast as you can. For your own pleasure. Take your time. Give pleasure. Take your time. Enjoy the presence. Then you always get there. You receive what you want. As long as man behaves like a teenager, wang bam, thank you madam, that you won't get anywhere. You never learn what is the essence of the creation. You just want cups, make it, do it, dip. Oh, I don't receive it. Because the cup was just the schematic for you to understand the totality of the creation. You have to grow. Some people say, when I teach, I insult them. You insult yourself by not understanding what was taught. So you find my word as an excuse to cover your weakness. I don't use the color or race and nationality. I use it for you to understand, and also who listen, to understand the weakness in the man. If it bothers you, it means that weakness exists within you. You have to learn where your weakness is and make the strength of it to become positive. We don't need no one to deliver to us. We take what we want, when we want, because we ask for it to be given. You want food, you ask for it, you don't steal. Does not mean that the restaurant guy has gone and brought the food for you to come and take. There are no fish and chip shops and no pizzeria anywhere in the universe, and the whole of the universe exists. How come when it comes to man, everything is physical and we have the best and that's it? Understand the essence of the creation. And then learn how you convert it. Go back to book 1. God is creator of all, and man converts of some. That conversion of some comes at the point of the need. I'm going through a harsh time. I need a love. Somebody to love me that I can go through the harsh. The Creator delivers it to you, that you don't suffer. Be it the earthquake, be it the death, be it anything. You don't make a cup, I put a cup there and I don't feel the earthquake. No, you got to learn to ask. You got to learn to ask from your own soul, what can I give? Never ask what you want to receive. Stop looking at the windings and the plates and the coils and the number of cups. This was to show you the essence of creation. How was the difference between the position and the structure of the soul of the man and the plant? The vertical people, the horizontal people. The vertical people and the horizontal people stand on two ends, opposite. If you put the soul of the plant on top of the branch and somebody cuts the branch, it's gone, dead. So the tree was clever, he put it in the ground. As long as it's there, I'm sticking to it, I'm there to live. Simple as that. The earth, man decided, oh, I'll put it up there and I'll give it 2 legs to run if it comes to kill me, and 2 hands to protect it. And if you put between the plant and the man, and somewhere in the middle, you have the soul of the animal and the kingdom of the animals. And then you see how they behave. Why do animals mono-feeders? Specific. Because of the position of the structure of the brain and understanding of their soul. You put a cow, a donkey, and a horse, and a deer in a field. None of them will die of hunger because they eat each one a part of the same thing that guarantees their survival. A man should not be that point. Man, to his soul, has to be the collection of the fields of the universe. That from it, as he said, when you become a star, you can create. Now, how many cups, how many rings? 9 turns, 10 turns. When I hear this, I said, oh, we are back in teenager job. Get there as quick as you can. My teachings are very deep if you understand it. And the way I live, I give total freedom till you hang it. You hang yourself with it. Or you become humble enough that you absorb and observe the changes. And from it, you give to bring more changes in a positive way. Any other question?
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we have a couple more.
2, 3, 4, and 5. If I go only to the man, cup of man here, all the 3. From
Cup of mine has only 2.
but what you have here, you draw us physicality of the man and soul of physicality of the man and soul of the man.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the cup of mine, the 2 we showed. Okay.
No, sir.
This way, yeah, carry on.
I meant what is fixed for the man, whole.
Yeah.
Okay. This 4 and 5 is the common denominator for all the creatures.
They are not.
And the earth.
And this is exactly where you're wrong. The only common denominator is 5. The only common denominator is 5, nothing else.
What is the inertia then?
Inertia varies in different parts of the planet according to the material. This covers the same thing right across. This inertia is here. And that's it. If this inertia changes, you become shorter man. So, for you to exist, you have to become a shorter man here. This becomes your position of your soul, because the energy changes. In the world of plants, the inertia dictates you can plant a herb and a tree next to each other. And The animal here always eat what is available here, and the plant produces it, because their wish is to have this source created by the central interaction of the material. So your proposition needs a better understanding. We're not there to position us, we're there to enlighten us. So the common denominator is only the gravitational field of the Earth, and even that, at different points, are different. Common denominator of the gravity of the Earth, or matter of the Earth, on this side could be here, and through the composition of material here, it'll be here. That's why we have mountains and valleys. Because depends what this internal constitution of material has kept for itself, that it absorbs the field. I try to bring for you to look at the totality, not in one line.
Okay. And all your cups, it's like this.
Pardon?
All your cups in the teaching, you are preferring to a strong field as the soul of the cup here.
No, I don't see that. We have a made cups, like all our cups are like this. Some feel above open them, and some below converge.
Yeah, that this due to the strength of what you are putting in.
Yeah, well, it's a choice.
And if I want to go to the plants, and from our understanding that the soul of the plants, some of the plants is down of, they choose down earth, and they are here. So in this way, change the position of cup number 1.
What do you mean?
This is the physicality of the man, yes?
Yeah.
If I change that like this.
I don't understand.
This is the soul of the man here, number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, if I go to soul of plants, should be here, in this cup. Because it took a position, what do you call it? Opposite position. So if I understand the soul and emotion and physicality, it's the same thing. That will be cup number 1 here, This is for the plants, huh? And sorry, 2 here and 3 will be here. Physicality will be on top.
For plants, of course, that's what we said.
Okay.
It's like putting the man on his head, but connecting it to the inertia of the planet. You become a vertical thing, you become a herb.
So this is what I said, Mr. Keshe. Number 5, number 4 will not change because now you are
Yes, they
connected.
will change. No, this is what I keep on saying. Number 4 is all changeable. Not number 1 and 2. Number 2 change, but over a longer period of time.
Okay, do the same system from the man goes also to the plant in the meaning. If we see cup number 1 and number 3, now in what you give us in the 5 cups, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay.
Yeah.
If I go to these 3. Okay. Here I have nano-coated zinc. Here I don't have zinc anywhere.
Where?
So in your teaching, you always say number 1 and number 3, partially there is some energy from part number 1. Is that the same thing goes to the plants?
Yes,
in the
but it's
meaning,
upside down.
Yeah, upside down, but in the meaning, also the same thing. If I saw number 1 here, number 3 is partially, there is nothing from number 1 in the cup. Number 1.
Yes, you see, still physicality, the fields go through. This is what I explained. Hold on. I need, can I take the page, please?
How much you pay?
Nothing, wait. Unfortunately, I have access to whiteboard. I don't need to pay, I just take it.
Okay.
That's the difference way. You see, the 5 cups and the 5 cups. It's the story of 2 cups. Now, the field flow with a man is this way. And that's the direction, because it gives energy now to the soul. With a plant, it still is this way, but the direction still goes that way. But here, the soul of the plant says to be a giver. This is why when you eat a fruit or whatever, it adds your energy. That energy is used to be using for whatever reason possible. This is what the scientists cannot understand and create themselves and what they do to understand, and they don't understand, and then we run into problem with a lot of things with knowledge seekers. One takes from the plant and it puts its physicality at the height and the thing, and that's it. The other one puts its physicality within the structure of the planet and is committed to it, it can't do anything with it. In a way, if you look at it, a tree or a plant talks when it grows up. But the man doesn't.
It's become a habit for the man to go shortcut, always.
Yeah. It's the way life has become.
Okay.
Go through it.
Okay. In the abstract, we are presenting the summary information of the paper. However, when you go down to the other chapters, you will find a lot of information that is additional to what is needed to understand more. We are explaining about the coronavirus, how it came to it, and throughout various researches, independent researches inside knowledge seekers, research groups, and so forth. We have compiled together all the information that you need to understand what is happening around this virus and around all the viruses when it comes to the world of creation and the existence of viruses around us. So as we said, we have put the insight into the magnetic and gravitational fields which apply to the viruses and their interaction with the cells. And also we have included the chapters where we wanted you to understand a little bit more about the energies of the viruses, because it is very important to understand the energies of the viruses to know how to handle them when you apply the GANS technology. The GANS material is also presented and described in this paper for those that are new to this technology, for them to understand more about what are the GANSes and how they can be applied for the eradication of viruses, and also how the GANS production takes place and how it can be applied. In which we also mentioned the Universal Body Enhancement Phase Unit that combines the GANS technology in in its operation, as it was also presented in the conferences that we held throughout 2019-2020. Then we go into specifics of materials, measurements, and dosages of gases that are to be applied for the coronavirus specifically. And you have step-by-step instructions on how to produce various gases that are required. And also the definition of how to measure the mixtures, what does it mean when we say about making a mixture of certain gases. We have also introduced various researches where we show the presence of Mehran fields, and in comparison with what we see as magnetic iron filings versus the effect of GANS fields in simple frozen water when the GANS reactors are introduced. And of course, we had to add a little bit of history about the gases and the viruses and how the technology has evolved to what we are presenting today, as it has been a long road of research and many years that Mr. Keshe has dedicated for the development of the gas technologies. When we go into GANS production for the procedures for trials, we are presenting the list of materials that are needed, the composition of the cup of life 1, cup of life 2, and step-by-step instruction on how to prepare them, as well as the products that Keshe Foundation Manufacturing has prepared for those that are ready to apply the gases which they are making for a much effective and easy use application. And we are specifically referring to the 1 cup on life suits made in KFM China and KFM Iran. Then we present the 4 mixtures that are mostly applied in the protocols to follow and how they will be obtained. And we go into the detection of the coronavirus in the body using the GANS plasma water. There are multiple ways of detecting. It depends on where the coronavirus is located. It can be in the white tissues, it can be in the soft red tissues, it can be in the muscle tissues or bones, or it can be detected through simple analysis of blood. So by looking at various parameters in the blood analysis, we can identify the presence of coronavirus. In the prevention protocol, we are also presenting the steps of drinking, spraying, breathing, bathing, and also additional spraying of the bottom feet and knees in case of going outside, or cleaning or spraying the nostrils, which are specific presences of coronavirus. Then we also mentioned the utilization of the GANS salt water, which is obtained during the cup of life GANS production. And that is to be used for the disinfection of the environment. And at chapter 12, we are going directly into the virus processing protocol using GANS and GANS plasma water. In this, we are having 2 main protocols, Protocol A and Protocol B. Protocol A for the white tissues and Protocol B for the soft red tissues. However, we also have protocols for other mutations of coronavirus that have been throughout these months revealed one by one. So in total, we passed over 20 mutations, which we have referenced in this paper. That means the presence of coronavirus in the head and eyes, coronavirus that can affect the brain and create a brain stroke. There could be the psychological and psychosomatic effects of the mutation of coronavirus. It can affect the ear and neck, the nose, the smell and taste, the lips, the tongue, the lungs and chest, the heart, the breasts, internal organ, the stomach, the bladder and pelvis, womb, and testicles, basically the reproductive system, the toes and fingers, the skin, lymph and the lymph nodes, blood. It can lead to various forms of cancer that are caused specifically by the coronavirus infection. Then it can affect muscles, the bone, and it can overall affect the immune system. There is a specific strain of mutation that creates high temperature in children, and it's very dangerous as well when it happens. And then there is the environmental coronavirus infection. And for all of this, our Keshe Foundation manufacturing facilities have prepared various systems which can be customized and applied for the environmental cleanup of coronavirus areas, affected areas, as well as for the production in high quantities of 1 cup 1 life gas as it is needed. So KFM Austria has already put on the market the spraying unit, which helps through the filtration of gas filters, helps spraying water, plasmatic water, which covers the contaminated areas in the environment. Then you have the gas plasma water unit, which as well provides the gas plasma water needed, and the breathing units, portable breathing units that can be utilized for the breathing of plasmatic water passed through, air passed through the plasmatic water. And in KFM China, we have the mass production of guns, which as well can be customized into the production of the 1 cup 1 life guns. Results are being presented in chapter 13, and all the activities that have been done with the Corona teams around the world, especially the Keshe Farsi Corona team and Keshe Brazil Corona team. These are the groups that have been the most active and most successful. Trial cases are also presented, as the knowledge seekers in Iran have committed themselves to do a national trial case. They have volunteered and they have participated themselves, their family and their communities into this because of the wish of overcoming the problem that coronavirus has brought to their lives. And many have been very grateful and successful in applying the gas technology. And luckily, we also managed to apply this technology in the hospitals in Iran. We have few laboratory tests and analysis that have been provided from various nations. In this case, we have a experiment conducted for the gas and nanostate in the National Defense University in Iran, on pure gas and on gas water. And further, we did include few observations and foreseeing regarding the behavior of the coronavirus and how it can affect the whole society further. But for this, we are also prepared because the manufacturing teams have already prepared themselves, geared up themselves on how to support every nation as it is needed when the request comes for help. And this is why they have also in Iran, they have started to deploy the gas plasma technology in public, on the streets, in the hospitals, and through the mosques, through any kind of channels that they could do that they can reach to as many people as possible. The statistical analysis of coronavirus has been concluded, and it's a very important analysis. It has been done in the university, and it proves the efficiency of the GAN's technology application in the case of the viruses. And as conclusion, we are summarizing everything that has been presented up to now, what has been, what is, and what will be, what the coronavirus will bring to us as a society, and how we should be embracing the gas technology if we wish to continue in a peaceful manner and to bring a balance between all the beings, including the viruses that are around us. Last but not least, we have included the word of appreciation towards the knowledge seekers that have been participating, for the doctors that have been putting their lives ahead of everything, the life of their community ahead of everything. So they have been available in supporting all the groups with the protocols and serving their citizens, their nations, their communities, their families relentlessly since this coronavirus has started. There are also many other knowledge seekers that have been helping with this movement, and they are not mentioned here. We couldn't mention everyone, but we do thank every soul that has participated and contributed into saving more and more lives every day. In the appendix, so basically from 83rd page, you will find appendix, and you will find a lot of laboratory tests, official analysis, in which the gas is proven effective, harmless, non-toxic, and basically the only way that we can continue further in this kind of situations. So if you wish to see more, just go to the link that was presented. We will publish on all the social media as possible, share with everyone, and allow everyone to get in touch with this technology because it's the only solution that we have at the moment. Yes, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, thank you very much. Can you go back to the statistic page, please? Where do you see the most important part of this report is this, where if you open up, you will see as high as 95% success and reduction for specific parts, lung or fever or whatever. And this is exactly what the WHO looks for. But what we don't see is the effectiveness of it and how fast it's done is within the guidelines of the WHO, and 95% success has not been as such reported anywhere in the world with a technology. We had to work within 156 out of the total numbers. And this part, this is what actually confirms the correctness of the technology. If we look in detail, there should be no need for no one to die of corona, even in the early stages or the late stages. 95% reversal. It's part of what has to be considered by the WHO, and the Iranian government reports and officers are sitting on this because they see no reason the water should be able to do such a thing. The analytical data is to the standard international requirement, and this is what all the governments will be looking for. We've shown the technology, we've shown the things the way around it, but essentially this report is compilation of a lot of knowledge to show 95% success rate. This is an open report that we can update and change. And we'll keep this report ongoing till when corona is not the problem anymore. In a way, a simple $1 cup can save one life. And we've seen man dying for $1 lye. So what you're interested in is the procedure, what to look for, and protocols. Many of you get corona, but you're not aware of it. And later on, you see the cancers of it and you see all other things of it. Read the protocol, read the, what we call the cases. There are 23 to 26 identified ways that the corona is affecting humanity. And up to date, our success is around 95%. Doesn't matter which one has been hit. Any question?
Mr. Keshe, I was wondering what is meant by when you say, perhaps by reading the report I'll find out, but when you say 95% success, what does that mean? What happened to the other 5%? Did they survive?
we allow 5 of statistically, it's about 97 people out of 100 survive.
So that would be 97 out of 100 that are already in pretty serious condition in the hospital.
In any condition, yes. The people who there is a list of the patients, who they are, what they went through. The 155 details, the details of their conditions given to the statistician, and they have come up with the figures after analyzing. As a knowledge seekers, you've seen many parts of it. We had to put in this report as people who know nothing from zero to the point of conversion of the disease. The university structure, they wanted in 2 hubs, one to do with the cancers, one to do with the illness, but at the same time, one after another to be published. This way we kept everything together. You get a corona, open a book and see what signs it is, what you see, we update all the time, and what you have to do. Any other question? With this journal, with this publication of this corona, we are teaching everything to do that in the future people understand how to set up everything and how to help themselves if there's no one around to help. If there's no other question, we close today's session. And please send this around the world the way it has to be, to governments, your officials, and in open-ended research. Just the data will come in, be updated. If you see anything new, it will be added.
Okay, wonderful, Mr. Keshe. Thank you and congratulations. And,
we should thank the head of Keshe Foundation. She's worked day and night.
Dziękuję za wysłuchanie. To już jest koniec 339 warsztatu poszukiwaczy wiedzy. Tak więc jeśli ktoś chciałby coś dodać od siebie, zabrać głos, zadać pytanie, to zapraszamy serdecznie.
Dzięki, Jarku. Myślę, że dzisiaj zamiast streszczania tego i powtarzania tej samej treści, to tylko wystosuję taki pomysł, który gdzieś już się wcześniej pojawił w grupie poszukiwaczy wiedzy, żeby ten raport przetłumaczyć. Tam jest ponad 180 stron, ale generalnie w 2 kolumnach z jakimiś tam obrazkami, dodatkami i tak dalej. Myślę, że to będzie znacznie mniej. I wrzucę taki post na Facebooku, od razu tutaj też takie małe ogłoszenie, że kto będzie chciał pomóc przy tłumaczeniu tego raportu, nawet przy pomocy słownika, po prostu tylko gdzieś tam sprawdzać i trochę korygować treści, bo w tym, można powiedzieć, w tej formie, czyli takiej w miarę oficjalnej, akademickiej, ten angielski też będzie łatwiejszy do przetłumaczenia chociażby przez słownik automatycznie, więc zbieramy grupę, zobaczymy jak to wyjdzie, jeśli będzie chociaż kilka osób, to myślę, że to ruszy, bo my jako tłumacze zajmujący się tłumaczeniem tygodniowych warsztatów brakuje gdzieś nam tej mocy przerobowej, ale te osoby, które chciałyby się zaangażować, wrzucę takiego posta na grupie tej oficjalnej fundacji Keshe w Polsce i weźmiemy się, myślę, do roboty, jak tylko zbierzemy zespół poszukiwaczy wiedzy. Także myślę, że nie trzeba powtarzać tego, co Ela tutaj przedstawiła. W zasadzie kompendium wiedzy, tak jak doktor Keshe zresztą powiedział, jest to książka, masz objawy, chorujesz na którejś z tych mutacji albo pierwotną wersję korony, można zobaczyć sobie wszystko od diagnozowania do balansowania tego stanu i poczytać sobie, jak to było stosowane i aplikowane, więc myślę, że to taka mała encyklopedia, gdzie możemy sobie spojrzeć konkretnie po przepis, jak sobie radzić z taką czy inną sytuacją. No i w zasadzie tyle, jeśli ktoś by chciał poruszyć jakiś temat, zadać pytania albo podzielić się swoim zrozumieniem.
Jeśli nie ma pytań, tak więc kończymy na dzisiaj. To były 387 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Zapraszam na czwartek. Dobrej nocy. Dzięki za przetłumaczenie. Tak więc dobranoc. Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie, przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. I jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.